Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cooldown. It's Monday. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing great. I'm not cool at all, man. I'm hot. I'm warm. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm all jazzed up.
I can tell you're pumped. I like this version of Amy. I like the razzed and ready to go.
Yeah, and caffeinated. You guys saw me sipping some coffee. Oh yeah.
Beautiful. Well, watchers of the time stream, we have a very special guest with us today, as I'm sure you can see, the lovely lady of the day and of the week, actually of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Miss Amy Vorpahl.
Yay! Thank you. Very glad to be here.
Yeah, and I'll be your lovely, handsome co-host, Jared Kjack. For those of you that are watching today, we're going to talk a little bit about the last episode, but we don't want to spoil too much for those of you that haven't seen it yet, so you can get caught up and then catch the second episode. Amy's running her very own written quest called Kandlekeep Dekonstruction.
Yeah.
And so she's going to do the second episode this upcoming Wednesday, and that's going to be the grand finale. And some people are already betting that not everyone is going to survive for some reason. I think there's a little team force of evil out there that wants to see some character deaths. Not sure why, but that's part of our fan base. How's everyone doing out there in chat? Give me a wave.
Hello, chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I see twins in. I see a concerned citizen of Ein, Eldritch Witch. Thank you for the gift subs.
Dasmir and Cha Freaks and Just Jutes gave me some balloons, some heart balloons.
Nice.
That feels real good to receive those. Thank you.
So as some of you know, and I certainly know this, Amy is a very, very gifted songwriter. And so I asked her as a special favor to the show and to me to sing some songs on today's show. So we're going to start out with a song from Amy. Then we're going to do a little chit chat banner, maybe ask some questions of Amy, and then do another song. And if we have time at the end of the show, we'll cap it off with one more song.
Oh, I love it. And I and my ukulele friend are ready.
Great.
This is where, see, I was just on the wall, just hanging
there. It was
there.
just happened to be there.
Yes.
Ready to go.
I've got this whole Zoom setup. I've never really, I don't know. Look, that's a degree, and that's my ukulele. So I like to say that I have a BFA in ukulele, which is not true. I'm not amazing at playing the ukulele.
Oh, come on now.
No, I'm not. I'm a beginner at best, but I use it as fun songwriting. It's like the easiest machine to jam out some songs.
Some new tunes,
you know what I mean? So
before you sing your song, why don't you give the audience a little, unless you want to save it, but give them a little background on what this song is all about.
Oh yeah, you're right. I haven't played music live in so long. It's like hard to remember that people care about the song. Yes, this song is called "A Whole New Meaning to Die," and I initially wrote this back in the day when I was writing for my album, "The Songs in the Key of D&D," and this never made the cut. And I've gone back to it multiple times, and it's called "A Whole New Meaning to Die." It's a pun song, and it is about how some dice are just out there to kill you. And so this is kind of a love/hate letter to the dice, basically saying, I see what you're doing, and I don't like it very much. So I'm gonna retaliate. And you'll see in the lyrics, the love for the dice, but the hate for the dice. And we've all been there, guys. So yeah. Did I do it good?
Yeah, that was great.
Well, okay, let's get going. I gave you a nice comfy bed to rest in and plenty of chances. All you gave me was questions with fewer answers, like how could you do this and why? I say it's easy to see the writing on your too many faces, so stop pretending. I know you want to end me. Oh, you give a whole new meaning to die, a whole new meaning to die. You standing in my way every time I want to play. You give a whole new meaning to die. You give a whole new meaning to die. I made the mistake to count on you. You must have waited to show your colors true. You never talk, so I never knew your soul. You might be just a rock, but I'd rather roll ya. Does it hurt to lie like that on your side? Oh, you give a whole new meaning to die, a whole new meaning to die. You're standing in my way every time I want to play. You give a whole new meaning to die, a whole new meaning to die. All along, I thought it was bad luck. Maybe I did something wrong, or maybe I was stuck. But you were laughing at me this whole time. Now you're gonna get a smacking right in your snake eyes. You give a whole new meaning to die, a whole new meaning to die. You standing in my way every time I want to play. You give a whole new meaning to die. You don't want to see me live, and you sure don't want to give. You've shown me how you felt. I can't wait to watch you melt. You made this mess, now go get effed. You get a whole new meaning to die. You give a whole new meaning to die. You give a whole new meaning to die.
Woo! Oh, so good. So good. I just want an Amy Vorpahl concert at this point.
Oh, thanks.
So
Yeah,
let me
that's
get this
such a fun
straight.
song.
So let me get this straight. And that was awesome. That was such a
Thanks.
great icebreaker. That didn't make the CD?
I
How did that
know.
not make it?
I guess I got a little, because like I'm from Texas, but all the rest of my songs had like some version of a character to them. And I just for some reason thought this doesn't have enough character. But ever since then, anytime I've played it since then, I'm like, yes, it does. so I don't know. I don't remember why it didn't. I just think it wasn't. I think I had to pare down to my absolute favorites.
Right.
And things like the Dungeon Master's Lament were on there. It's a really hard song to compete with.
Yeah,
But some of the
that's
other ones,
killing.
like after listening, I was like, I don't know, maybe I thought, oh, this is too country. The people who want to hear my songs don't want to hear country. But I don't know. It might have just been a total insecure move. But yeah, next album.
I disagree. I definitely think having a mix of genres is what makes you, is that you're not just stuck in
you
one
can't put baby
style.
in a corner.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. So yeah, we're definitely going to make time for the other two songs. Just saying that now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so what I'd like to move into now is a new segment that I'm calling Questions from Sir Helvengard. So let me give me just a second. I'm going to go get Sir Helvengard.
Okay. Yeah, it's so weird how I never see Jared and Sir Helvengard in the same room. And yet it's not all that weird because I know exactly what's happening.
Hello, salutations, well met. You're the Lady Vorpahl?
Yes.
Lady Amy, I believe.
Oh yes, hello, you handsome paladin.
Thank you very much. I was asked to come here by Mr. Jared. He said that he wanted me to question you about some things.
Yes, it's so lucky that we had you on the same plane of existence.
It is. Actually, I travel quite frequently from plane to plane, as you know. So these questions were given to me by a little Patreon bird. The first one, I think, was the most popular voted question. There were several questions up there, and this one got the most upvotes.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Yeah, no pressure.
All right. So, question number 1. Which player character were you the most surprised or entertained by their choices in your game?
Oh, that is so fun. That I think I'm gonna have to go with, just because, okay, look, I've actually played with Egg and Sir Hell before. So the newbies, Crick and Frick, I'd have to like pair them together because
the Goblin Sisters.
The Goblin Sisters also, yeah, the 2 out of 3 Goblin Sisters, because Stick is who they're looking for. But I was most surprised and entertained by their antics, I guess, it's to answer the question. But I do need to give a shout out because Sean Becker, the TD, was instrumental in that delightful little things. And I love it when everyone is in on the joke and the whole context of the whole story, including the technical director, can help assist that. So I know that y'all have that clipped out on Instagram, and it is just, it's one of the funniest things to watch because I wasn't able to see it in live time, even though I knew it was happening. But just going back and Jessica jumping, and again, oh, she's Frick. Yeah, Frick jumping from
it's hard to tell them apart.
It is. It's hard to tell them apart because it's just one letter that is different. Stick though, I think I could tell apart whenever I see her. If we
I don't know if we're going to meet Stick in this next episode.
I don't know either.
That would be interesting. Something to think about. Next question. Carlos asks, from all your D&D life, what was the most shocking / unexpected moment you've had to deal with as a dungeon master?
Ooh, that is really fun. I would say, as a dungeon master,
or as a player.
Okay. As a player, that's very easy. There was a Never Tell Me the Odds episode. I know that you asked about D&D, but I've played so many different RPGs that I'm just including that too. But it was Never Tell Me the Odds. We played Fantasy Flight Games, Star Wars, Edge of the Empire, I think. And I had played, in the first season, I was a diplomat who was secret married to an Imperial soldier general. And then the second season, so we got captured by the Empire because I was part of the Rebel Alliance.
As you often do in Star Wars.
That's right. And then the second season, we played trying to rescue that first group. And I played Merce was his name. And he was the secret general soldier of the Empire who had to play his part out as the Empire, but also try to rescue his secret Rebel Alliance spouse. And in that, I had said that I was too busy to continue on to season 3. And there was a moment where a lightsaber just pierced me, and like there wasn't really a role. It was kind of like my character just died, and it was so surprising because and then afterwards the DM was like, but you said you couldn't come back in season 3, and I was like, that didn't mean just kill my character, but like it was an on-camera stream on saving throw, and you can see like the 7 levels of grief just happening where I'm like, no, how did that happen? And then it's denial and anger and fear, and then it's just like sadness and crying. And so that was awesome. But as a DM, it was over this last summer playing with the guild, and I thought I had set up just a normal kind of investigatory, like they're gonna find some stuff out kind of thing, and it turned into everyone just went haywire and nuts and started using all their spells and like attacking, and it was way too overpowered for them to attack, and so they all died. and so we ended the episode with literally like TPK, and I had set up as part of this that there were everyone died and went to hell. And so the next thing is we went to just a different plane of existence that was kind of my version of hell and very strange. And there are some D&D mechanics that help you out with all of that, but But yeah, that was very, very surprising. It did not occur how I thought it would, and I had to get creative for the next session real fast.
It's funny that you should say that. Hold on a moment. Did I just hear that there was a game where there was a bunch of player characters who got in way too deep and the dungeon master didn't know if they were going to have to kill everybody or not? Who does that sound like? I wonder. Anyways, next question.
Hey, Sir Helvingard. Jared just
Hello.
popped in. He was just being a little coy, a little mysterious, but I think we all understood where he was going with his little interstitial.
He likes jokes. I'm more of a serious individual.
Yeah, he does like jokes. You do have like a constant smirk though. Like I get joy from you, even if it's not.
I do love life.
Yes, that's very clear.
I enjoy being alive very much.
Oh, good.
Very
Maybe
much.
I should ask you some questions then, because I would love to get to that. Yeah, love to get to that place.
All right. You can ask the next one then.
Okay.
So next question. Proudlin from the Realm asks, if you were to join our Heroes of Ein in the future, would you join Jeff in the forces of evil or aid our heroes with the forces of good? If you had a choice, that is.
Oh my gosh. Well, is it canon that Jeff is forces of evil?
Well, I think people like to think that he's the one that pulls the strings.
Yes. Okay. So the puppet master.
I see people chanting "evil, evil" in chat.
Evil. I guess you're right. As a dungeon master, I mean, you're controlling everything behind the scenes, and that does include the monsters. But it's not only the monsters. They're not exclusive to monsters. And he does have some delightful characters that y'all have fallen in love with. So,
right. And you did play an NPC at one point.
That's right, Benisiba Grolb.
Yes.
Who came in and as a bard and sang some songs. So, but I don't know that I would play her necessarily. But I think I would love to play on the forces of good. Sorry, guys. I would love to play the forces of good because I guess I want to interact with the Ein characters. You know, I haven't really been able to interact with the Ein characters that we played in Klein or Klein. So yeah, I think I would want to interact, but in a positive way with y'all's OG characters.
Excellent. And Amy, never apologize for being good.
I am so good. It's really hard to go evil.
All right, you said you had a question for Sir Helvingard.
Yes, Sir Helvingard.
Yes, Lady Amy.
I know that you have slain a lot of people and taken a lot of lives, but you still managed to have this positive outlook where you kind of give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. You want to tell the truth and all of that. So I just want to know where you get that balance from.
You mean the balance between good and evil?
I guess that's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Well, I was raised by my mother until the age of 9, and she taught me the difference between right and wrong. And then when my father came to claim me and train me to become a knight, I learned the importance of law and order. And of course, combining those two things together, it only made sense to swear an oath to hell. So it's quite natural, actually, to see the good in people.
And I guess the good in killing is more of a justice kind of action?
Well, that's a last resort. I prefer to talk things out and litigate, if possible, or some form of diplomacy before resorting to violence. But if push comes to shove, justice is always on my side.
Yeah, if there were a bardic tale about this last adventure, there was an opportunity to continue with the bloodshed of Frick, and you stopped that right in its tracks, which is very notable.
Right, and we were also in a tower filled with very powerful wizards that would probably not take too kindly to that.
So you had multiple reasons for not wanting to continue the bloodshed.
Like I said, I love life.
Amazing.
All right, next question, and then we'll go and do a song.
Oh.
Branded Nerd asks, how did the opportunity of writing a one-shot for Wizards of the Coast come about?
That came about. I used to think that I was just guessing, but it has been confirmed that ages before, probably like a couple of years, maybe a year before, Chris Perkins sent out a tweet that was like, just kind of, I don't know, just casting a line to see if any people in the D&D sphere felt comfortable writing adventures or were interested, something like that. And I, at that time, had written 2 different adventures for Dungeon in a Box. So I just like replied to his tweet. It's like, hey, I've written a couple of adventures for Dungeon in the Box. And I have known Chris Perkins from playing games with him. So I imagine I'm sure he got I know he got like 1,000 replies, but I might have stood out or he might have known me. Anyway, I got on a short list from that tweet, and that has been confirmed. And he just sent an email one day. He sent an email about a year before the actual publishing of the book. And yeah, so it was a year-long journey, but that's kind of how it came about. And I guess the answer to how I even got read on that tweet is like, at the time that I tweeted it, I was like, oh, I have legit put in 10 years of playing D&D and then streaming about 6 years. So if there's a sub question of how could I make that happen for myself, it's play for 10 years and maybe stream or write an album and get, I don't know. I think it's a lot about creating and putting yourself out there and extroverting whatever your talent is. So I definitely extroverted that for a solid 6 years that I was a D&D lady.
So the long story short, you just devoted years of your life to it, and then you tweeted at someone, and
Yes.
That's what got you the opportunity.
Yes, it wasn't an overnight success at all, but I know that it can seem like that sometimes. It definitely was, yes. It was a lot more, but it was fun, like I wasn't playing D&D against my will or anything. I definitely was enjoying the 10 years. And at this point, I think I've been playing for 15, 16 years now, almost 20. I started when I was 18. So I don't know, I'm 36, y'all do the math. Oh my God, that's 18 years. Never mind. I've been playing a lot longer than that when I got the tweet. Shoot. So there you go.
Where is Morgan Peter Brown when you need the math skills?
Yeah, I said 10 years. I'm like almost 10 years off.
Yes, it does sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, would you like to sing another of your lovely songs?
I really would. So this is another one. This one I wrote after the album came out, but I am going to put it on another album that I will be ideally releasing later this year. And this is my all-time, at least for this new album, it's my all-time favorite song to play. It's very character-based, and there's a twist at the end. It is a little bit, it's called You Found Me, and it is based on it doesn't really happen that much anymore, but in dating, there is a thing about dating hetero men in the past where I have said, I play D&D, and a lot of them look at me and this is like first meeting or first date or whatever, and they're like, you're perfect, I love you so much, and it's a red flag for me because I'm like, you don't know me, like I do have flaws, and we'll see if you stick around for those, but it's very interesting how there's like one requirement on some people's dating list, and it's girl who plays D&D, and so this is a song that is talking about that, because people come in all shapes and sizes who play D&D, and you might not want to date some of these people, including me. You come what?
No, go ahead.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. Okay.
I was going to attempt to make a joke, but I think it'd be better for you to just sing.
Okay, you make your joke after it. After the song, it might be very on point. You come into the gaming shop, it's just another day. You pull out your dice and you sit down to play. All the regulars are there, the bell rings on the door. it's love at first sight. You don't need to know any more about me to know that it's right. You found me, a D&D playing girl. Call your mom and stop looking for the perfect woman because you have found her. You ask and I agree to be with you forever. You coyly joke that maybe you should get to know me better. You don't know why I'm being shy. You've reached your verdict. The D20 in my hand proves that I'm perfect. I'll tell you anything you want as long as you're sure. You take my hand, press it to your lips, say there's nothing you want more. 'Cause you found me, a D&D playing girl. Call your mom and stop looking for the perfect woman because you have found her. I'm so glad to hear that you're already sold, 'cause I've been called a few things like sex offender and schizo. I tied up a guy who owed me money and left him to rot. But is it really all that bad if I never got caught? I don't know how to spell. I'm the definition of a taker. Those are kind of mild, but I've heard they're usually deal breakers. I can't wait for you to experience my bipolarity. Could you look down there and tell me what these bumps might be? I get it, you're scared. As true love goes, I'm your first. But just remember, you weren't coerced, and I won't let you go. So I guess you've got to trust that my weird heart has enough love for both of us. I found you, and I'll never let you go. You can run for the rest of your life, I'll find you. There aren't any takebacks after you say I do. I seem to recall you said your life was mine too. Guess how I feel about being lied to. Not very good, but we can grind through this. Grab a glass, raise it high, imbibe to the fact that I found you.
So good. So very, very talented. You know, you could be a professional bard if you wanted to be.
Oh, that sounds enticing. Gosh, how much attention would I get?
I hear there's a Miss Satine Phoenix that is writing a book about bards. Perhaps she should get you on that.
Ooh, I could
so to speak.
I could battle with all the other bards.
I think people would love to see that. All right, that was quite the journey
song.
through the inner workings of Lady Amy Vorpahl.
Yes, it's so many things that I've always wanted to say, but sometimes the only way to express yourself is through very, very sweet, adorable music with some real cynical lyrics.
Through art.
Art, really,
art,
yeah.
Yes, it heals the soul, or so I hear.
Yeah.
So that's actually an excellent segue into the next section of our show. We're going to play a little word association game.
Yay!
I'm going to say a word, and you are going to say the first thing that pops into your head.
Oh, shoot.
Can literally be anything. The only thing I would ask is that we might have some younger viewers watching. So if you can refrain from the swear words, that would be best.
Yes.
But anything else, by all means, go for it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Himbo.
Tulumbo.
Blue.
Egret.
Slap.
Me.
You can say more than one word. You don't have to just say one word back.
Okay. I don't know. I'm
Slap
hearing
Me should be the next Dungeon Run t-shirt, I think, with just a picture of you looking stunned. All right. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes.
Arrogant.
Sir Helvengard.
Ooh. Snap, as the kids say.
Oh my God, I was about to try to word associate with snap, but okay, that was not snap.
Desperation.
Dating.
Wicked.
Gnarly.
Morgan Peter Brown.
Every TV show ever. That is definitely my association with him. I'm like, every time I look around, it's like, I'm on this TV show, and this TV show, and this TV show.
He does do a lot of the TV.
Yes.
You are correct there. Justice.
Your horse.
Good answer. Bumfuzzle.
Sex, man. Sorry. That just sounds
It's all right.
a little. I think that's
PG-13.
right.
It actually means confused, but perhaps that's how things go.
I don't know. If you use it
In
as
the
a
bed with
verb,
you,
like that as an adjective, maybe being bumfuzzled is confusion. But if you're gonna bumfuzzle someone, you're doing something nasty to them.
All right, I'll take that. I found this one that made me think of you. Snickershoe.
Jabberwocky's claws. That is totally what a Jabberwocky wears. It's the Snickershoe.
Snickershoes.
And then the snack hat.
And don't you have a monster in your game called a?
Oh yeah, the Skitter Widget.
Skitter widgets. Yes.
Yes.
We're going to be battling those at the beginning of next episode.
Yes, that was one of those delightful things where I was like, I'm gonna just come up with this monster that I want to see, and they were just like, yes, 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 and they even said yes to the name, which I think sounds a little bit like a Pokemon name, but they were like, yeah, works.
Right. Well, there's quite a few silly monsters in Dungeons and Dragons.
I know,
but Flumph. So,
yes, that's true. You're right.
But I don't even think your monster is that silly. It looks quite ferocious.
It's not silly. It's not silly. There is something that y'all haven't discovered about it, the monster yet. That does set it apart, I think, from other monsters in a kind of a flavor text kind of way.
Well, you can always tell me. I won't tell anyone. If you want to give away any of your secrets.
It's a personality trait. I can tell you that.
Interesting.
So it isn't necessarily like if you might fall into this personality trait, and you might not.
Would Sir Helvengard fall prey to this personality trait?
Sir, anyone could. I will say that there's no humanoid or creature immune to this personality trait. This personality trait trumps it all, and it does. And the reason it trumps it all is because the core of this personality trait is actually a version of love.
Oh, that's touching. I wasn't expecting to hear that. Lovely. We have a few more words. Collywobbles.
Hollywood.
Nincompoop.
Ninja.
And last but not least, funny enough, love.
Oojaboo.
Oojaboo.
Oojaboo. That's from Ace Ventura, and that is the essence of real love. Is him talking baby talk to I don't remember what. I hear
you do a Jim Carrey impersonation. Is that true?
I really don't want to spoil it. It's on breaking news on Dropout, but they broke me really hard, and then they give you prompts for improv, and they made me do 4 different lines of Jim Carrey from his movies, and I'll give you the last one that I couldn't think of I was just being on the spot, and I thought they were like, he's been in this movie, because I was having trouble, and then they're like, The Mask, and I was like, The Mask, and I just go, serve and protect, man, and it was like, oh really? That's your The Mask quote? I was like, I don't know why that quote, like I remember that quote from The Mask, but he gets arrested and he just goes, serve and protect, man, and that stuck with me. So yeah, obscure but accurate.
Good to know. And is that something that people can find or see? Or
yeah, I think it's behind the Dropout TV paywall, but you can get a free month, I think, a free month subscription if you're interested in stuff like that.
And you were saying something about it's a news program, right? Where you try to keep a straight face.
That's right. You don't know what, you have to read the teleprompter. You don't know what the teleprompter is going to say. And the gist of the game is that you are trying to keep a straight face. And every time you break, either smile or laugh, they count a point against you, and then at the end they tally up all the points, and whoever has broken the most, because there are always 4 correspondents, whoever has broken character the most loses. And I've lost almost every time. I think there's one time that I have not lost.
And what happens when you lose?
Literally nothing.
No. It's a good thing you weren't playing for money.
No, I would never bet a bet on myself ever for a straight face competition.
I see. All right, are you ready for another question from our Patreons? Emily asks, does Amy plan to write and publish more adventures? She is so creative, and they are such unique quests that it would be great to have more of her work published to be used by the community.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I think so, yes. At the moment, no. The adventure that I wrote took a lot of time. It was a lot longer than I thought. I probably put in total 60 hours. And I know that's not...
That's with rewrites and everything?
Yeah, we got to rewrite, and I had to basically do a page 1 rewrite, because writing an adventure is 100% different from playing an adventure / DMing or coming up with an adventure you're going to play. Basically because and the adventure is a letter to other DMs who want to play your adventure. So your brain can't go to, I don't know, maybe this, and they'll figure it out. It's very finite. So when you're DMing, there's a lot of infinite and let's see, and hypotheticals that you try to plan for, but you know that your players are never going to plan for it. But when you are trying to write a letter to a dungeon master and say, this is how you played my adventure, it's a lot more finite and technical. So anyway, it broke my brain a bit, had to do page 1 rewrites, and it just took a lot longer than I thought. So jumping back in, it wasn't all, I don't want to say it was bad. It was like definitely a learning experience. It's just difficult, and now I know what's involved. And I think I would, if I'm going to write it, I would need to block out time to do that. So
which do you prefer, writing, dungeon DMing, or being a player?
I have to choose between writing, DMing, and being a player?
Sure.
Or is that what the question? Oh,
yes, that was my made up question.
Okay, I will. Yeah, I guess it's interesting. Writing was really cool, but I'm gonna say it comes in 3rd place because I play D&D for the combo meal of it's also a social party, and writing requires you to like having written is great, but the process of writing is 60 hours alone in your head, and sometimes that's not the best place that you want to be. And then so I guess I don't know, it's hard. I think I don't want to choose between DMing and playing, because I don't want to never not do either one again.
I wasn't insinuating that you would never do the other ones. It's just if you had your choice right this moment between those 3.
Okay, what are you
feeling in this moment?
I'm feeling I want to be a player. I haven't played in a game in a minute, and it just feels luxurious. It feels like it would be such a I just want, I kind of want to fuck up a dungeon. I kind of want to mess up a dungeon master. Sorry.
It's all right. I knew there was going to be at least be one. I was expecting it during the word association.
Sorry,
to be honest.
beep.
That's all right. Next question. We'll pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah,
David
sorry,
Jin Pro says, Sir H appears to be... Oh, this is a question for me. Sir H appears to be the kind of handsome, holier-than-thou himbo, hero, famed in lore since Sir Lancelot, and a snappy dresser to boot. Thank you. But I wonder if his kind of aristocratic piety would make him the kind of fellow Civ would want to shiv. How do you think an interaction between Civ and Sir H would go? Well, I don't know this Civ individual, but I would hope that we would get along and be able to sit down and see eye to eye.
You wouldn't. I don't think you would. Sorry, Sir Hal. Civ is like, you know how you love the law and things that are right, and you just love it. So Civ actively doesn't.
He doesn't love the law.
No, like, yeah, you guys are on the opposite ends of that spectrum.
I say, well, as long as he obeys the laws, I don't see a problem. No, he doesn't,
and he hasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, he makes a point kind of it sometimes even.
I see.
Authority's not his, he doesn't love authority. He'll do the opposite.
He doesn't love authority? I mean, what rules does he live by then?
You know, he cares about the people he cares about, but it is a small group. That's a start. It's a small group, so it's not everybody. I just don't know. I mean, I think you would give it a shot and Civ would be out the door. You know how dates sometimes go and you're like, okay, I'll give this guy like, 45 minutes and like, we'll see. Civ would be,
I took a vow of chastity, so I don't think I would be dating.
So that's not a good metaphor, I guess. I guess I'm just going to say, I love that you think you would work through it and maybe get along, but I'm voting absolutely that would never happen.
I see. Well, you can't always win everyone over. I'm sure this Civ individual that you're talking about has a good heart deep down, and perhaps it just is going to take some time for him to see the light.
That's true. He has a good heart deep down. There's just, trauma and baggage that are making him make some real, weird choices with his life.
Well, we all have some dark things in our past. It's just how we choose to look at them now and in the future.
I love it. You're right. You're absolutely right. I could be painting, and it's a hypothetical that may never happen, but who's to say at the end of the day? It could go very well.
Right. They could just sit down and have a nice cup of tea and discuss, politics or religion or one of those safer topics.
Mm-hmm.
David Jim Pro. Question number 2. This one's for Amy, thankfully. Do you think a total party kill would be a fun way to end a 2-shot?
Yes.
Yee. All right.
That was a little easy to answer.
Next question. Chef Scott 68. In the Mending of Magic, one of your NPCs forced you to make a face that was literally the nightmare fuel of any 4-year-old. Can you do that again next show? ? Please and thank you. Chef Kiss in advance.
It was that. I think it was that. That was the NPC. Minotaur. He's Fae. So when I think of Fae, I think you can be adorable and terrifying in the same. It's like Guillermo del Toro. You find the love through the terror, and that is what I thought of Fae. And so that's the guy that I thought I'd be. Yeah.
Yes, I like your faces, all of them.
Yeah.
Yes. I think they were referring to you doing that face in the next show, but since you did it here, you're off the hook. Next question. Nicole, I just bought my first set of beautiful dice. I'd love to see your favorite set. I don't suppose you have your dice sitting
Yes,
nearby.
I was prepared. So this is going to be hard to see on camera, but my mom bought me artisan dice. and they are, I think Texas Blackwood is the name of the wood. They're made out of wood, and this is the D10. It's really hard to see, but they're wooden, and they're gorgeous, and they're just delightful. They have sentimental value because my mom, it's like her way of saying she supports the weird little hobby that I have. And there's a little D6. I love the D6s are very big.
Well, it's more than a hobby. I mean, you become a writer because of it.
Right, totally. It's pro now. So this is the D20, and just they're light. They're like very light.
Do you actually use them, or are you worried that
I don't use them on streams, unfortunately, but in real life I use them because I think dice are meant to be used, and they are delightful to roll. They're so light and bouncy and woody. It's great. And then the other ones I'll show you, they're what are these called? I don't remember. They were a gift, so actually they don't have like a printed thing on them.
Oh, they look like they're metal.
Yes, and after playing the Feywild, one of the time stream people gave me Feywild rainbow metal dice. I don't remember which watcher sent it to me, but I thought this was worth shouting out because I've used these multiple times on stream. They're easy to see, which is nice, and shiny, and rainbow. So yeah.
Which roll better, the wooden ones or the metal ones?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I guess.
Well, give it a roll. Roll 2 of them, and that'll decide it right then and there.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do D20 since that's the system that we're playing, and we'll do it on my little mouse pad. Okay. So they both actually, the metal one got 11. The wooden one's got 10. The wooden one went farther. So in a race, the wooden one would win. But it seems like we're never racing with dice. We're never dice racing. So it looks like the metal ones actually win the gold with barely, with an 11. That's
excellent.
Out of one case study. One. That's all you need.
That's all you need. There's a question in chat. Sir Helvengard, what is Justice's favorite snack? I like to give him a healthy snack. I don't allow him any of those honeyed, sugared oats. I don't want him gaining any sort of belly fat. So either an apple or carrot or celery, or there's this new thing coming out of the big cities called kale, and he seems to enjoy that rather well. So that's a snack for Justice.
Snack for Justice is an amazing children's book.
I would read that to my son. The Carson. This is for Jared. Hold on, I'll go get it.
Okay, cool.
Hey, how are things going with Sir Helvengard?
Oh my gosh, he's a dang treat. He's a ding treat.
I always thought of him as being kind of stiff. Is he just asking you a bunch of questions and not really like?
Yeah, but he answered a few too, and he's weighed in, and he had an opinion about Civ, which was delightful.
Really? What did he say about Civ?
He thought they would get along. He was like into it. Every bad thing I could say about Civ, which I tried to throw at him, and he spun it. He spun it. So.
Yeah, I don't think Civ and Helvengard would get along too well. But
that's what I said, but
yeah, you never know. You never know. I mean, Civ gets along with a lot of people, and then all of a sudden wants to kill Whitebeard for no reason at all. Other than I
brought it all up, Jared, and Civ just kept spinning it and spinning it and spinning it until he was like, I think this might be okay.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Well, he's goody two shoes. What do you expect?
Right.
Okay, so question from the Carson for Jared. You once said in an interview that when you started playing D&D with friends back in school, you really didn't get out of it what you were hoping. This is very true. Did this feeling jumpstart your desire for acting and voice acting, knowing you wanted more involved role-playing? Or did you always know this is what you wanted to do? So when I was in high school, I played a lot of sports. And I might have even told this story before, but I played a lot of sports, and that's what you do when you're in a small town going to a high school. You play sports. And then I just got to the point where I didn't enjoy it anymore. It wasn't fun, and it was all about winning and the competition of it. And so I quit. I quit everything, football, basketball, track, soccer, everything. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do with myself, because at that point I was just going to school and I didn't really have any extracurricular activities because I had eliminated them all. And my mom, of all people, thought it would be fun, and I'm sure she's regretting this now, thought it would be fun if I took a theater class. And so I took that theater class, and the teacher very much took a liking to me and recruited me and got me to audition for the school play. And in the school play, I got to kiss a girl. And I thought that was awesome. Even though she had a boyfriend and her boyfriend wanted to beat me up, I still thought it was awesome. So that's where I fell in love with acting, specifically theater acting. And during that time is when I got into role playing as well, just from reading the books. And when I was a kid, I tried playing it with my brother, and that was weird because we didn't really know how to play. And then I got in with a group of people, and they were kind of strange, and it was not a good experience, to make a long story short. But I didn't stop loving the idea of role playing and the idea of fantasy. So I stuck with it until I found a good group of people to play with, and they were, of course, actors and improvisers. And from then on, I was hooked. And then my acting path, I mean, that's a very long story as far as going from theater to TV to voiceover now. So that's a whole nother episode. I'll skip that. But yeah, that's how I kind of, in a roundabout way, fell in love with acting and role playing. I don't know if it's something that I've always wanted to do as a career. It certainly is now. But for a while there, when I was going to college, I actually was seriously contemplating going into computer science and computer programming. But you, at that college, couldn't do both majors, so I had to choose. And I, of course, chose acting. And the rest is history. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. So we only have a few more minutes left. Let me get Sir Helvengard so he can come back and ask you any more questions, and then we can do your song.
Yes, and it's our song. I'm going to play Lily.
Yeah. Oh, great. Awesome. Well,
Jared and I wrote this song together. It's a love song.
Yeah. Seems like it was many moons ago.
I know.
That we wrote that, but we'll have to write another one.
I know. You're an amazing poet with that's why there's a song in the first place, is because poetry. So poetry is just songs without music.
Yeah, especially if they rhyme. All right.
Yes.
I'll be right back. How are you, Lady Amy?
I'm doing great. Yes, good. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. I'm all right. I just needed to go. The question reminded me I needed to go feed Justice, so I went and took care of that and gave him a nice brushing, and made sure that he was doing all right. And then I came right back here. Yeah,
that's a good story, Sir Helvengard.
Thank you. It's amazing I didn't get anything on me, no dirt or hay or anything, but
yeah, I feel like that's not your style, though. I feel like you've
clean and tidy.
Yes.
That's the Paladin way. All right. I only have one more question for you. Okay. It's from Anonymous. Why is Sir Helvengard just so dang dreamy?
I mean, yeah, dreaminess can be subjective, based on, the eye of the beholder type thing. But then there's just some objective, beautiful people, and they are just beautiful. And why that happens, I think, is I think it's a nature thing, that, where would we be without beautiful people, and that is
very, very philosophical of you.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why. Good genes, clean and tidy, making that a priority, I guess. So maybe a little bit of nature, a little bit of nurture, but yes, objectively, this is a dreamy, dreamy person. So yeah, sometimes why it's just like, I don't know. Some people are lucky.
Yes, it is luck. It's a lot to do with luck and a lot less to do with anything else.
Okay, great. Yeah, then that's my answer.
It's a good answer. Alrighty.
Changebox is like, who could have asked that question? Lol. It seems like, and then that gamer share is like lol. Everyone's like lol. So is this an inside joke? Do we know who asked that question? Is it you?
I think it was one of the Patreon questions that it got upvoted, but it didn't get upvoted quite as much as the first question.
Okay.
So there you are. There are other questions on there if you'd like to answer a few more, or if you want to sing your song, we can do that. Which would you prefer?
Oh, prefer? I mean, I love singing songs, but do I have to pick one or the other?
No.
No?
You can do both if you'd like.
Okay, both. That's my preference.
All right. Why don't you, I'll go and see if there's any more questions on the Patreon, and why don't you sing your song in the meantime?
I love it.
And for those of you that either haven't seen this episode or don't know what's going on between Civ and Lily in the show, Amy, why don't you give them a little bit of history behind this lovely tune?
Okay, this is because y'all are a thing now. Y'all are like officially shipped and out the door.
Well, I don't know Lily, but
gosh.
I have heard of this Civ individual, and he sounds like perhaps Lily would be good for him.
Yes, absolutely.
A positive influence.
Definitely.
Right.
Lily's a lot closer to you as far as relationships with people.
Lily is like Sir Helvengard. I don't know why I'm talking about myself in the third person, but there you are.
Yes, I would say yes. Lily is close to Sir Helvengard, R.E. Relationships with general population of people, just like feeling real good about them and positivity and light, that kind of thing.
I see. Well, she sounds like a lovely individual. I would love to meet her someday.
She is, and she's such a lovely individual that Civ fell in love with her, which is out of character for Civ, just being vulnerable with anybody. And he hired Benisiba Grulb, his longtime friend, to write a song for Lily so that he could surprise Lily with the song, a love song.
See, it seems like this Civ chap is a good person after all.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with so many caveats, but yes, but a good person, when he wants to be, when it suits him, when the other person, when he's like invested in the other person, so yes, at times Civ is good. At other times though, and more often than not, I mean, look, people are spectrums, they're Venn diagrams, and we can't just say good, bad, but Civ is more bad. So this is the song that Benisiba Grulb, a character that I played, sang on episode 30, Stranger's Fate. It was the Christmas special, and we all got dressed up in fun little Christmas sweaters. And it's really, it's a merging of Jared's wonderful poetry and lyrics with some music that I didn't even write. I stole from Sarah Bareilles, and we made this beautiful song. So I'll just go ahead and sing it. Never knew one who could carry the sun like my Lily. Tundras of grim lit up by the gem of your voice. And I concede I am merely a thief, but you stole me. You lifted my heart into light from the dark I avoid. Oh, love, honey gold hair, 1 second chance to measure our worlds together. Touch, oh, if I dare, taste of romance and pleasure, you my treasure. Oh, oh. stay with your sweet serenade, Lily, won't you? Show me the blooming of eyes that are blue-green tonight. Time slips away and the light starts to fade. I won't leave you. Give me a dance, a forever romance by your side. Oh, you're afraid that I won't stay, but time won't wait, and I swear what I feel is real. Real love for your honey gold hair. Perhaps our last chance to measure our lives together. Touch, yes, if you dare. Taste of romance and pleasure, us forever.
Wow. Yeah, that song gets me, man. All right, no more.
Powerful words.
No more Sir Helvengard. I'm gonna loosen the tie a little bit now.
Oh boy.
Wow, Amy.
So sweet.
That's. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough.
Thank you. I mean, this was totally a collaboration, and it's like, it's just, it's just so fun because I think I'm like, my strong point in songwriting is lyrics, and then to have literal, like, amazing poetry. I know this was an amalgamation of lots of different poems, but I never would have thought of a lot of these words ever. So it's just so wonderful and fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do it again at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that are you vaccinated? I'm vaccinated.
I am vaccinated, both of them, and then I get fully inoculated this upcoming Thursday. It will be 2 weeks from the last.
Sure. We'll have to get together and have a beer and write some
and jam, baby.
Write some stuff.
Yeah,
well, I'm definitely not a singer, so I will work on the words. You can come up with the music and have it sound.
I love it.
Sound amazing. Yeah. I think we should probably wrap it there. Like, I feel like that was the perfect way to end the show. Thank you so much for doing the cool down with me and for stepping in while Jeff's away. One announcement I almost forgot to make. Jeff will be back. Obviously not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, we will go back to the original story with Mr. Jeffrey Kanata at the helm once again.
Such good news.
Yeah, he's doing much better. He got some positive news about the situation that he's dealing with. So there's hope in the world, which is great. I can't say thank you enough, Amy. You're absolutely amazing, super talented. Is there anything that you would like to plug before we sign off? Anything? Yeah,
I think I've been uploading more original songs and stuff to my YouTube channel. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's YouTube/The Noble Amy. So this is before I started that YouTube channel, before I was officially Vorpahl Sword, but The Noble Amy is still in the realm. So subscribing there. It's really just my little tunes. Every once in a while I'll make a video sketch, but it's really just my tunes. So I like it when people comment on my videos, as most people do. So if that's something that you like, I've also got some little ukulele covers on there of that's how I even started learning how to play the ukulele, is playing covers. So
awesome.
Venerable Amy.
I think the Dungeon Run just put the link to your YouTube in chat. I think that's what that is.
Oh, thank you.
I hope that's what that is. Jessica's doing our tech today. So, okay. She just said yes in my ear. So there you go.
Thank you.
So follow Amy on YouTube. Anything else? Anything else you want to?
Nothing else is really coming up. I'm just kind of doing this, some other online stuff, but yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I will. It's not coming out. It's not coming out, but I am actively writing songs to make a new album this year. So
amazing.
That's kind of how I'm spending my time, and so there will be new songs up on the YouTube.
That's great.
Some of
and
them
we can have you back on the show, and you can sing your songs again.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be really, really great.
For sure. I'll make sure that happens.
Thanks.
Okay, well, we're signing off for today, but make sure that you tune in this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, where we have the grand finale of Kandlekeep Dekonstruction being run by our beautiful and talented Amy Vorpahl and special guest Satine Phoenix. I'm Jared Kjack. Humankind.
Be both.